So when I was 13, I decided I was going to become a DJ. There was this little record store in my neighborhood called Funky Town, and I went inside there, and there was this little flyer, and the flyer said, 24-hour turntable rental for $50, call Dom Unique. And I kid you not, the phone number that was listed on it said 2 to the 1 to the 3 to the 5 to the 5 to the 5 to the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Straight hip-hop. So I wanted to rent the turntables, but I didn't have any money. And I couldn't ask my parents. We didn't have any money. They would have just told me the same thing. My family of 4, we actually grew up in a motel in Los Angeles, so there wasn't exactly extra money going around for turntables. So I started to work. I actually put a little hustle on. I hustled my friends' parents out of some lunch money. I'd make sandwiches for my friends, and they'd give me the $5 that their parents would give them for lunch. And then eventually I'd save up enough money, buy some records, rent the turntables, teach myself how to spin, and eventually I got myself my own turntables. That same summer, in between junior high and high school, I found out that I got awarded a scholarship, a full-ride scholarship to high school. I was from LA, but the high school was Culver Military Academy in Indiana, and the scholarship was worth about $100,000 over 4 years. So it was something that changed my life, and as I'm sure many of you are experiencing now. And when I got to this school, something occurred that I just didn't expect, and that is that music was scarce. Right, you're in the middle of Indiana. There's no internet, and it's not like they're known for their hip hop. They're definitely not known for their house. So there was no music there. So people would be like, man, there's no good music here. And every time I go home, all my friends know the cool stuff, but I'm way behind. And the school dances sucked. They were terrible. So every unit, we were in military schools, every unit would throw a dance every month, right? And so eventually it was my unit's turn to throw a dance. And I said, hey, well, I'll spin. I'll offer that up. And so we started out, the first time I did it was in a wrestling room, stanky, hot-ass wrestling room. I grew it into the cafeteria, and then eventually grew it into the auditorium. So that was how I got the start spinning. And I did all of this, by the way, at no charge. I didn't charge anyone for it. In fact, I incurred the cost myself. But I did this because I wanted to move a crowd. And that stuck with me, right, was being able to help others and influence them in a way that they got some entertainment, something fun. When eventually I decided I wanted to sell some mixtapes, because that's what you did, right? So I put together like this idea, I'm going to sell some mixtapes, but I don't have any money, so how was I going to do this? I basically ran my own Kickstarter campaign. I told a couple of friends, hey, give me $5, I'll write you a receipt, I'll go use that $5, I rented studio time, I made hundreds of tapes, demo tapes, or these mixtapes, and then I'd come back and I'd say, give me the other $5 now, and that's my profit, right? And so I sold those tapes. I sold out like that. Series 1, 2, 3, 4, and on and on. They sold out super quick. And I only told a few people. It was just like it spread. And I wondered to myself then, why did that just happen? Why did this just become like an overnight success? And what I realized then is something that I use today, which is that I had built a community, a network of people by giving them something first. When it came time for me to ask, they jumped and helped me out real quick. And that is a way that I still live my life. And I want to share with you a little bit of the secrets that I've used in building my network. And the reason I tell you that story is twofold. One is, as Greenhouse Scholars, I'm willing to bet that part of you wants to do well in life, right? Make a good living, but also part of you wants to make an impact on this world. So there's a bit of this passion and profit, right? There's a desire to combine those two. I also earned a full-ride scholarship to Boston College. So like you, I've sat in your shoes. I understand what it's like to want to bring those worlds together to better yourself through your education, but to do something that's meaningful in life. And so I developed this framework of building a network through giving. And that framework has enabled me to make a living. So that's why Giving for a Living, the name of the speech. So that framework is what I want to teach to you today. And the name of it is called Space. And the reason I call it Space is because space is what you get. When you create space, you can move around, right? You have mobility. Well, you're looking for social mobility when it comes to building a network. The more space you have, the more you can move around this world, doors open up, right? But the word space is also a pneumatic device that I created to help you remember what it is that you need to get from yourself in order to network. So S stands for skills. What skills do you have that you can give someone? You meet somebody for the first time, and you might be wondering, what do I even talk about? Don't talk, listen. Listen and see, what skills can you offer up? In my case, I could entertain through music. That was a skill I had to offer. Maybe you're good at writing and you can edit someone's resume. Maybe you're really good at Excel and somebody needs some help building a financial model for a business plan. Whatever it is, you've got skills, right? You've got tangible skills. That's something that you can offer to somebody real easy, real simple, but you give first when you're networking, not asking them to help you out, okay? The P stands for people. Who can you pick up the phone and call that will be happy to answer on the other side of that phone? And I'm not talking about, oh, I know this, my friend's dad is a so-and-so and so-and-so. No, I'm talking about people you can call. Who can you call? Because if you can pick up the phone and call somebody, that means that the person that you're networking with might need that introduction. You can pair them together. There's value in pairing other people together. It doesn't all have to be about you. Find people that you can connect. That's the P. The A stands for assets. What assets might you have? Assets are things like money, car, house. Could be even your time, if you think about asset that way. So what can you give to somebody else? And most of you, you're not going to give money to people, but think of it like this. Let's say somebody says, oh, I'm going on this trip, and they're really excited about it. You're listening, and you're trying to figure out, how can I help this person? And you offer up, hey, do you need a ride to the airport? Now, if this is somebody that you're trying to build a relationship with, and you give them a ride to the airport, you've got time in the car together to talk their ear off or to listen to them. And even if they don't take you up on it, you at least offered first. You didn't ask to get something, right? That's the assets part. The C stands for community. Community means that you're involved with certain communities. This right here is a community, right? What communities are you going to cultivate? When you leave here, when you leave school, are you ever going to get back together with this group or a part of this group? It's probably up to you. So are you going to be the kind of person that cultivates a community? And if you're meeting somebody, what community can you get them into? Maybe they would benefit from being a part of one of your crews. So get them in. That's something you can offer up. That doesn't cost you money, right? It's just putting them into a place that they're going to really find value from. And the last one, E, is for emotions. What emotions can you offer up to someone? Meaning, can you give them some compassion, some understanding, encouragement, inspiration? Right? What emotion can you give them rather than taking from them? This together is the type of character that people can trust because you give first. And if you use technology and social media and you think about, how is it that I can use that to support this person that I want to be? Use social media and use, instead of looking at posts and saying, well, how many likes and comments did I get? How many likes and comments did you give? Right? How many did you give? Because that is you listening and giving instead of taking first. And that tells people you're the kind of person that has strong character. You're a giver. You can be trusted. That they want to then help you because they want to reciprocate. And so I tell you this because when it comes to making an impact on the world, I believe that when you have the opportunity, the same skill set that it takes to build a network, creating space, is the same skill set it takes to make a difference in this world and to move a crowd.